Hello, everybody, and welcome back to week 7 of the CEA Siege stream. Today we have St. Clair College versus Florida University.
Yeah, Florida University coming into this with a nice 4-0 streak going on. They're undefeated in the CEA, and St. Clair 3-1. So they're at the disadvantage on paper right now.
Yeah, so essentially their stats are almost the same with Florida University with 56 round wins and only 12 round losses, and with St. Clair at 47 round wins as well as 27 round losses.
Huge stats between the both teams. Both teams they're up there with a lot of like very high stats coming out. It's a big win loss kind of differentiate between in both teams. There's 56 and 12 though from Florida. That's an insane stat to have. And on top of that, just looking down the list of all the players on Florida University, there's 7 on the roster signed up, and each player has just a nuts KD. So they look like they've just been firing on all cylinders all season.
Yeah, going down the line, we have Spooks with 64 kills and 25 deaths.
Spooks, that's nuts.
As well as Sargent with 52 and 35. We also have Ewoks with 60 and 29. Asianator with 29-18. Strange with 50-25. Tjing 34 and 24. And I believe that's Qualt with 11 and 5.
Yeah, and actually looking at the St. Clair roster, they're not any different. There's a different there, but they have less players. So they have less players to spread the KD out along. And if you look, you got Imagine, JMB's, Rapid, Doozy, and Miss Nautica. All of them playing their respective roles. You have Miss Nautica and Doozy repping kind of their negative KDs, but they're also the supportive players, not so much the entry fraggers. And it's a harder role to play instead of being that high kill, because you have 7 players on Florida compared to the 5 on St. Clair. Those extra 2 players, it's easy to keep them at a high kill, low KD, because you don't have to put them in every game.
Yeah.
But St. Clair, in their respective roles, they're showing a lot of heat too.
Yeah, and looking at the stats when we went through them, they both played Rutgers. So in the standings, Florida's first. Rutgers and St. Clair are tied for second, and both playing Rutgers. Florida won against Rutgers, and St. Clair lost against Rutgers.
Yeah, they both. But if you look at the game that St. Clair lost 7-5 and 7-0 against Rutgers, and that 7-0 loss was on Border. Border is not a map that I think St. Clair wants to touch right now, because that map was not looking hot for the team. But if you look at the Rutgers game against Florida, 7-5, Florida won. That was a close game. So if St. Clair lost 7-0 in their match, and then Florida's winning 7-5 on that map, it's just, I don't think that's a map that St. Clair wants to stay clear. And good for them. The maps we have tonight are Clubhouse and Cafe. So both maps, each team is super even on both maps. If you look at on the stats, we had Florida won both of their maps on Clubhouse, and they won their only map on Cafe. St. Clair won 3 matches on Clubhouse and their only map on Cafe, and they're super close, almost identical in the stats.
Yeah, with Florida 14-3 on club, and Saints with 21-3 on club. So essentially, Florida is down 1 game, so that's where that extra 7 win rounds comes from. And then on Cafe, Florida's 7-0 and Saints are 7-2. So really, really, really close games between all the teams in the league, but the round differential for both teams on both maps are almost identical. So I'm looking at an amazing game tonight.
Honestly, I think if we have the top slayers on St. Clair, JMB, Rapid, and Imagine show up to this game, it could be just the best game we've seen all season. It could be if you look at the slayers, the matchup I want to see tonight is Spooks against Imagine if they're in that. Spooks and Imagine, both the top slayers on each team, and honestly, they got to show up for their team because they're like being the top slayer. You have to be like, if you don't show up, that's a huge role that your team is missing right there. So other people are gonna have to fill that.
Yeah. Now just imagine every time Imagine or Spooks died, it was it was one of them two killing each other.
Yeah.
And so as we get everybody into the lobby here, we will get right into the game. And as you can see, we do have Spooks, Strange, Teejing, Ewoks, and Sergeant for Florida.
So yeah, subbing off right now, like in the matchup, is Asianator and Caught. Whereas, so those are the two players that aren't seen. Caught, if you look at the stats, he doesn't have as much play time. You can tell in the stats, only 11 and 5. Obviously hasn't seen a lot of light. Same with Asianator, 29 and 18. Compared to the other stats, he's also been like left out. So we kind of predicted the roster we'd see before the game started, and we were right.
Yeah, and going right into the ban phase here, we're going to start off on Clubhouse. So I'm looking for a Jackal ban, and it's going to be Habana, the first ban. Banned out by Florida.
Now, you say you're looking for the Jackal ban, but I haven't seen Jackal get banned lately.
Lately, I have seen the St. Clair Saints leave Jackal in play.
Yeah, I haven't seen Jackal get banned. Instead, they've been target banning.
They have been, yes. And, with Habana out of play now, the only hard breach is going to be Thermite and Maverick as well. And to get those hatches open, there's going to be a lot of utility used.
Yeah, and honestly, Maverick as a hard breach isn't it's not something that you usually see picked all the time. Maybe on Clubhouse for certain areas, maybe when you're pushing downstairs and when you're pushing CCTV. Those are probably the two only times you'll see Maverick get played instead of the Thermite. But on that the rooms upstairs, Thermite probably want to have that hard breach for the outdoor wall.
Yeah, and as you see, Thatcher banned, so forcing St. Clair to ban Cade as well, just so that it's not so much of a nuisance to get those Cade claws off that wall.
And that Maestro ban, that's a target ban on its own. That's JMB's main on this map. You always see JMB's playing Maestro on this map, so that is 100% a target ban if I could see one.
Yeah, in a sense, it is a target ban. In a sense, it is a decent ban to get rid of because that's intel that they don't have, right?
Yeah.
And so, if University of Florida did watch VODs on St. Clair, they know that they run the IQ. They know that they run the Zofia. So, getting rid of Maestro cams wouldn't have been a problem, but now that Maestro's out of play, there's no sense of really using that much utility.
Yeah, it is, and here we go, starting map 1 Clubhouse. We got on St. Clair, Thermite, Zofia, Maverick, IQ, Capteo from left to right, and Castle. 1 second. Castle, Mozzie, Bandit, Rook, and Legion on the side of University of Florida for defense. Hopping right into the setup phase. They're holding an unusual spot for the first time. You don't usually see the basement get held first.
Yeah, so, the basement is essentially the second site, but a lot of teams like playing the basement, so they will go the first site and, alternate it around, and sometimes it does throw off the other team. So as you can see, Imagine is playing that Capitao. Usually that Capitao is only played for the upstairs site for the fire arrows so they can open that wall, but he's still a good operator to cut off flanks with the asphyxiation bolts for the fire and all that, so he's still good op.
Imagine getting baited that hard.
It does happen. It always happens, and sometimes you don't even realize it.
You are calling out that there's a hole in the wall there in the roof.
Yeah,
I don't think they meant to put that there. It might have been a little accident. So
if it's right next to the hatch, I believe they did, but if it's not next to the hatch, then they didn't. But if it's next to the hatch, they're going to use impacts to destroy any thermite charges.
True, yeah. So maybe it's a happy accident.
Yeah.
St. Clair starting their push. We see Imagine going fast, but there is a roamer up top. He doesn't know. He's going for the pre-fire through that wall. Maybe he has an idea that somebody usually sits there. and it might be a common spot. So, oh, if he's just waited a second, we might have saw a confrontation.
Yeah, and as you can see, Imagine punched that window and let that drone through, so it didn't have to take the long way. But they're just gonna hold angles here, and
oh, Imagine does get dropped by Strange. So, advantage to University of Florida. On like a fortunate start to St. Clair, but Florida coming out strong right off the bat.
yeah, so getting that opening kill. This is, you know, a defense heavier map, but Doozy just peeking on in there, getting a little lit up by the, I believe it's Castle.
He got tagged, and that's a different kind of strategy. I've never seen a Maverick make a hole like that, but I guess it does make sense.
That hole is crouchable, so he will be able to enter through that tunnel when over so pleased. And as you see, Castle punching holes inside of the gym bedroom wall to watch the window that JM Beast is currently peeking.
JM Beast millimeters away from somebody, and he doesn't even know. We could possibly see another fight right here.
So JM Beast still believing that he is in the closet area, and now
oh, Spooks is ready for this.
He's spooking
but
Spooks.
JMB's dropped down, and there is somebody right there too. They have a nice crossfire, but JMB's is like threading the needle right now. Threading the, and he's putting his thermite. Oh, this is such bad timing. He's gonna go down.
And that is Diffuser as well, so they're just gonna hold Diffuser now, and so we'll see how well St. Clair can rotate back and try and take back this Diffuser. As Rapid's already pushing down Dirt Tunnel, but the Legion Q is going to let the other team know that he is down there. And Spook's taking out Duzzy.
Yeah, Doozy actually, he went right through Logistics office, and he didn't even catch that the castle was still there. And there we see right away, everybody from St. Clair gets dropped. That's a flawless round for round one, coming out for Florida. They're starting off strong, setting the pace right away.
Yeah, so I believe we forgot to mention, but St. Clair, for any life that they want to continue in the CEA League, they have to win this game.
This is do or die right now because of how close they are with Rutgers.
Rutgers University, yep. And so if they win this game and Rutgers loses, they move on. If they win this game and Rutgers wins, it goes down to a round differential. So they have to win as many rounds as they can without losing as many rounds.
Going into round two, we see a mirror pick coming out for St. Clair. Actually, no, I'm wrong. Twitch instead of Zofia. Oh, there we go. It's fixed on the 6th pick. Rook, Jaeger, Bandit, Doc, and Mute on the defense. I think the Mute is different. So they're going to have the Mute down for the CCTV room now. And the Doc is also new.
Yeah, so Doc and Rook, the brothers, the French brothers, both essentially only used for their ACOGs. Doc does have his stim ability, but Rook isn't really that powerful of an operator. He just guarantees the down but not out.
Yeah. And even sometimes the stim isn't that helpful sometimes. It can be, but like in situations, you're not usually going to pull out your stim shot and shoot your teammate instead of holding the angle that you need.
Yeah, in a lot of situations, it's hard to get that angle on your teammate without the other team getting an angle on you. So you got to do it when you know.
Yeah, you just kind of gonna go for it.
Yeah, you got a full send. There's no half sends.
There's no half sends when you're playing Doc.
It's a full send or get her out.
This is actually a very good spot for the. Oh my God! Right off the bat, Miss Nautica spawn peeked by Spooks. Spooks, like we said, the kind of high kill player for University of Florida. He is showing up right now. Rapid gonna be opening up the wall in garage.
So since that Habana is banned, there is a Habana hole that usually goes there to get a peek. As you can see, Imagine's gonna go for that peek, but you can get a peek inside garage. And so since the Habana's banned, Maverick's gonna have to do it. And then now they can slowly start their push onto that CCTV wall.
So it's 2 rounds in a row that St. Clair's had like the 1 player differential right off the bat, almost. They have to be more aware of this.
Yeah, and Miss Nautica going down on the IQ is a really essential kill because they have Jaeger, Bandit, Mute, all being able to be detected by her IQ scanner.
Here we go. We're going for the thermite breach. And there's no bandit there to bandit trick because the Zofia blew up the bandits.
Yeah, so they're gonna get the wall open and now get the last bandit on the wall. Pre-fire anything that they can, try and get as many picks as they can.
So although St. Clair's down one player, they're in a really strong position with that wall being open right now, even though it's in a 4 or 5 player advantage.
Yeah, because essentially you can just hold that angle on that rook, I believe it is in garage, and just wait for someone to rotate through, trying to get that pick. Once they get garage control, it's pretty heavily stacked in St. Clair's favor, but as you can see, imagine going down from that rook on top of the balcony. Rapid with the refrag.
Rapid doesn't go for the revive either. Just leaves them down there. Oh, because somebody else is there to pick them up. Imagine we'll get rezzed. Rapid though, going fast. Takes out the cam, and he's just gonna sit there. JM Beast has a nice cross angle. Imagine's gonna probably smoke it out, and he gets down too after smoking. So they did get that spot. Now Ewoks gets a shot through the smoke on JM Beast. Rapid refragging, and that's Doozy going down to Teaching. Rapid's last one alive, and he will go down. That's round 2 to Florida.
So Florida taking round 2, but like I said, this is a really defender-heavy map, so I wouldn't be surprised that University of Florida goes up 6-0. St. Clair comes back, ties it 6-6. It is defender heavy, so we just got to see how it plays out. And Rapid being the only St. Clair member to get kills.
Yeah, that's not looking good. That's not looking good right now. If St. Clair needs this, and these aren't stats that we should be seeing in this kind of situation. Although Florida is a very strong opponent to go up against, it's just I don't want to say it's unacceptable, but like it's what they need to turn this around fast.
Yeah, because if they don't, even if they win this game, they want to make it so that they don't lose as many rounds. Even losing 2 rounds, could put them at a disadvantage, because those 2 rounds could make or break their CEA season career.
So I'm curious, if St. Clair loses this and Rutgers loses their game, does St. Clair still have a chance, or?
Yeah, so essentially they're still tied for second. So then again, it'll just go to that round differential.
Yeah.
And same thing as if they both won, but essentially they both lost.
Okay, so we see the bedrooms being held now. Castle on Spooks instead of the Rook. We got Alibi on Sergeant. It's a different pick. Alibi, I'm pretty sure 3-speed, right?
Yes. Yep.
So probably looking to roam a little bit on the bottom floor.
Yep. And Alibi, her gun isn't the greatest, but if you can hit your headshots, any gun's the best.
Yeah, right? I mean, you only need 1 shot, technically.
Yeah, so you always see those streamers and pro players, playing casual or whatever, and they'll go 1 bullet and get that 1 shot headshot, and that's all you really need. So
do you think... How many times do you think a player goes around with only shooting 1 bullet on each player? Like, what is that? 5 bullets out of your mag, and that's round over?
Yeah, that would be scary.
Could you imagine just playing against a JM Beast with the entry frag on Spooks, headshot right away? And he types lol.
So he was trying to go for the dirt tunnel peak. As you can see, it was pinged out by JM Beast, and JM Beast just coming out on top.
Rapid's gonna spot the Alibi figure, so calling out that is not the Alibi.
And it looked like Rapid was already in logistics office, so
Ewoks though, picking up the kill on Rapid, so we're at even odds. There's somebody behind the deployable shield. Hasn't been called out yet, but the shield is known. Somebody does break that wall, so they're gonna put all their focus onto that right now.
And the repel glitch is always the worst in that situation, but just holding angles is that bandit, and that shield is being able to be seen through. So Doozy making a big play, but not being able to get any picks.
Yeah, going for that big play, and there is somebody in the corner. Oh, Imagine almost flicks onto the player in CCTV, going in the 1v1 fight. But the player in CCTV ducks away. That is strange on the Jaeger. That would have been a intense pick.
So Doc healing up Jaeger a little bit, and as you can see, they're just proning next to each other. Actually, Imagine's proned, and I believe the Rook is standing up. Or sorry, the Doc is standing up. So they're just right next to each other, and they don't know it.
51 seconds left in this round, and St. Clair doesn't look like they know where to push. Imagine is inside CTV with about 30 health. So he's going to have to be aware of anything. Any corner he peeks, he has to be ready for.
And there goes another Doc stim on Jaeger, and Jaeger picks up Miss Nautica and rotates back to the CCTV room with Imagine already pushed out. So, and it looks like he's going to go peek that window again, so we'll see if he can get any picks. And JM Beast with a pick on T-Jing, and
oh, that was a clutch pick on the Nitrocell, but Ewoks and Strange combining for 2, and that's round 3 to Florida. Almost deleting St. Clair instantly. That went from 0 to 100 real fast.
Yeah, and you know, just the way St. Clair pushed that, it was a little weird. The shield, the bandit trigger with the shield, it was just untouchable when they have Jaeger devices to stop Doozy's Sophia impact nades, and it's just something that, you know, has to be brought up as a team. Hey, we need to bring grenades or more explosives, anything like that, just to get rid of that shield.
Yeah, on top of that whole situation, St. Clair looked worried. Like, they looked spooked, almost like they were just standing like deer in the headlights. They couldn't push through the door, or else they got killed by like a crossfire of 3 people. They can't, like, they're getting shot out of bedroom and out of CCTV room, and they have no clue where they need to push. J.M. Beast was on he was on just outside of CCTV room on that breachable wall when his whole team was on the other side of the building trying to win their gunfights. I'd like to see some more communication out of St. Clair, some more direct team fights instead of just trying to take a one-on-one fight like they've been doing this whole time.
Yeah, and Doozy with his run into sight and try and peek everybody. With that shield being there, that's not the greatest play because that bandit was peeking behind that shield, so at any time it kind of acts like a mirror window, so he can peek above that shield and get the pick without even you anticipating it.
Yeah, I'm no scientist here, but like if you see a shield there, you should assume that there's a player behind it
With the bandit trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when that's a wall that is famous for a bandit being there.
Yeah. And so Spooks and Strange being played upstairs.
Ooh, Strange picking Imagine right off the bat. That is the 3rd round that we've seen now that St. Clair has been picked first. First blood coming up for University. 3 to 1 in first bloods. And Miss Nautica peeks into CCTV room, but there's somebody on stairs, and that's Miss Nautica going down to Strange. Strange with a nice 2-piece, and bringing it back to our past broadcasts. The Roamer doesn't have to get kills, but you just saw the Roamer get 2 kills, so he's doing above and beyond for his team right now.
Yeah, and even with him at very low health, he's still wasting time, and as
Doozy losing a nice gunfight inside of Jim. JMB's going for that refrag. Breaks the wall there. Doesn't realize that the player went down hatch, so still waiting for a player up in bedroom. But, you know, University of Florida, their scoreline shows in the way they're playing. That's all I'm impressed in the way that they play.
Yeah, and that wall wasn't reinforced next to the bandit, so it's a little bit weird, but JMB's getting the pre-fire off on the castle, but not getting any picks. Ooh. And Strange going down to about 1 HP in rapid. Trying to pre-fire through the wall, not getting anything though. And they're just going to pinch Strange here and see Strange not knowing that he rotated out and going to come out safe.
Just barely missing the situation. That is another flawless round for Florida. That's round 4 to University of Florida. St. Clair, what do you think? Like, what do you want to see them change up in this next round?
So essentially, it didn't look like they did a very, very well job on droning in Imagine, because as soon as he hit that building, it was an instant death. And so drones are just, need to be used or need to be used more efficiently.
And as we're going into our 5th round, Ash coming out on Imagine again. So maybe we're gonna see him try to go for a quicker push. Maybe they want to catch Florida, they want to catch Florida off guard before Florida catches St. Clair off guard, which is going to be tough because Florida's been on top of those spawn peaks.
Yeah, and as soon as you get a couple rounds in your favor, it just kind of goes your way because the flow, the momentum, I don't want to say strength, but the momentum your team has in their favor is just so much better than being down obviously 4-0 and you have to find the strength in your team and say, hey guys, we need to pick it up, we need to get kills, we need to do something, but without getting mad at each other, without causing arguments, because that just kind of hurts the team.
Team morale is real important in a game like Rainbow Six, because it's a game where if you can hold that team morale even in situations like this, you can pull it right back like that. Like you can pull it right back like it's almost like there's no difference in score.
Yeah, and so even if St. Clair won this one round, it kind of helps them on their defense because, like I said, this map is really defender heavy, and so just winning one attack round would help them and put them in a decent spot to come back.
We see Rapid going for that peak hole that the Habana usually makes.
Now Habana's is a little bit bigger,
yeah,
but you can only do so much with the amount of utility.
And I don't even think anybody's there to peek that. I think Imagine's deciding he's gonna just drone instead of peeking that hole. Doozy getting good sights into point. That's a lot of information showing that he can't see anybody right now, but there is the bandit. Bandit should be right there.
And someone proning, trying to pick off the Maverick, but not able to do it in time.
Ooh, is that Bandit on site?
I believe that is Bandit.
The Bandit is getting ready to just destroy whoever makes a hole in that wall. Bandit, I think this is a pretty easy to read situation going on right now, that St. Clair is going to go for that thermite hole. So if I was St. Clair at this point, you got a minute 30 left, and Teejing taking out Doozy. So Rapid though, getting a nice kill on the Bandit, pulls it right back into even odds. Rapid is low on health, but we're gonna see a nice 4-on-4 fight right now. The thermite did break the wall too, so we're gonna have the wall open on CCTV. Thermite wall actually a little bit high too, so they're gonna have to vault over that. Oh, imagine though, that was a nasty angle from whoever's up in whoever's up there. Miss Nautica looking for that angle there, shooting through the wall, just barely missing. The player goes prone.
Just missing the shots. I think they got 1, maybe 2 bullets off, and
it looks like that Spook on Rook back there. And Spook though playing so well. Strange getting a nice kill on Rapid, setting up for the run out. Are we gonna see a run out come out? It would be strange if we didn't.
Imagine getting a pick on Spooks and going to contest Strange is JM Beast and almost getting the pick, knocking him down to about 75 HP, but they are about the same HP, so we'll see who wins this gunfight. Running by, going on his drone, getting run out on.
No,
2
and
kills,
Strange gets
and
2.
Ewoks picking up Imagine to end the round.
I want to know what went through Imagine's head to go on drone there. That like, if Imagine in a gunfight that's close, like, ooh, I wonder if that was a call, maybe like hop on drone, but that they were like face to face in that gunfight and they knew it.
Yeah, it's something that it might have been a misclick.
Yeah, maybe.
It might have been a call. It might have been, hey, just drone him out. You never know, but essentially it kind of looked like a misclick, but Strange with the double digits of 10 kills.
Strange is popping off for his team. He's just, there's no mercy coming out from the side of Florida right now. They're looking strong against St. Clair today, and St. Clair looking like there's a little bit of
Attackers need to locate
kind of
and defuse
holes in their
bombs.
plans. Their plots are not falling through. We're in round 6, so after this round, we will see the side switch. St. Clair will be on defense. University of Florida will be on offense. But for now, we're in the prep phase for round 6.
Yeah, and you know, just St. Clair, they look so strong, and they look like they love this map and knew how to play it so just flawlessly. But University of Florida just putting a stop to that and saying, hey, look, we can play it too, and we'll see who can play it better. So, but the Nomad coming out on Imagine, so we'll see if that will cut off any rotates or any runouts.
University of Florida has gotten so many spawn peaks in this whole game. We see Strange lining up for a spawn peak, but nobody spawned there. So St. Clair's safe from the gun of Strange right now. That Nomad, I'm surprised they didn't switch earlier to the Nomad.
Yeah, there was a lot of, not necessarily runouts, but there's a lot of rotating for this team. And so switching earlier would have been a decent idea, but at the same time, they have their own strategies, right? So maybe the Nomad wasn't in their comp that they could switch out just for getting rid of utility and all that. It's just something that, you know, can't always happen. And Doozy with the breaching charge going to breach his castle, but he knows someone's there. I believe they have a drone.
Oh,
He's
just
waiting.
above the head. If he doesn't know, but he's aiming right at that player's head. They do break through the wall, so he's gonna put a few shots through, and just sitting right outside of the central roof right there. He's gonna be side by side with a player inside a bedroom. That player has been sitting there for the past the last time that they were on this map, there was a player in that exact same spot. So I wonder if they're going to be ready for that. Doozy breaks the castle wall, going for the stun inside, but kind of stuns himself. Spooks takes out Rapid. I don't know where that shot came from, because I think Spooks is down low. Yeah, I think we saw another run out.
Yeah, and so imagine watching that hole inside of dirt, causing him not to be able to place his Nomad charges on runouts.
Strange, though, going to be poking his head out of that CCTV window and putting so much damage into the players on that subroof. Imagine drops. So we're in a 3v5 situation. St. Clair almost needs this round to make a comeback. It is a defensive heavy map, so it would be nice to see them get this round. It's not essential. They can make that comeback, but it would look real good if they came back and won this right now.
And Castle, they're just playing very aggressive because they know they have the man advantage, so they're going to play as hard as they can and as aggressive as they can, because changing up your styles throws off the team because they think they have the feeling for you, and then out of nowhere it's just a different team out of nowhere, and it's so hard to adapt again.
I don't understand the mindset of St. Clair right now. You have 30 seconds left on this bomb site, and Doozy's breaking the walls of the garage. Doozy does get a pick on Sergeant, though. Miss Nautica tagged from that alibi drone. 2 players picked up from that alibi. JMBS gets a double kill. We're in a 2v3 situation. Ewoks takes out JMBS, lets Diffuser down. St. Clair has to get the kills. And Diffuser's going down to Miss Nautica, but they shoot through the wall, and Miss Nautica goes down, and Florida goes flawless on their defense for Clubhouse.
Yeah, and great push by JM Beast, but you know, the pinch wasn't there. There wasn't very much that they could do in a sense of getting the rest of the frags that they needed and essentially costing them the game, or the round. But you know, that gym, when you're one man there, you're one operator, you're by yourself, and you have diffuser, there's 3 seconds left, and you're against 2 people, you got to get that diffuser down. Essentially, that's all you can do is try your best and get that diffuser down.
I do not one bit agree with that breach charge into garage. That wasted so much time for Doozy. He was out of position by a landslide in that whole situation.
He did make it back, but with the alibis there, always being detected, always being pinged by those alibis, just created so much bigger of a nuisance and slowed down his push even more. So taking away the time that he pushed through the garage, as well as taking away the time that he shot the alibi, it was just the slow, and eventually too slow of a push.
St. Clair opting to hold CCTV first. And we actually see a Lion coming out on Ewok. Lion, a little bit different to see, like usual. Not picked very often, but he is effective, as we've seen so many times. Yeah, I don't know how many teams have made me eat my words when I say Lion is not useful. But it's probably like, I could probably count it on my hand, at least.
Yeah, so about 5 times.
About 5 times.
But, you know, ever since the Lion nerf, he has been very less useful. He's still kind of useful to cut off roamers and all that. So if you have a Jackal and you're tracking, and then you call the Lion and you Dokkaebi call, it's all just a nuisance. You can hear him, you can see him, all that. He's all in ping, and there goes the roamer. But since there's no Dokkaebi or Jackal, it's just going to be the Lion. So essentially, it's just going to be drones and the Lion. I believe it's called the EE1D, and as you see there, the EE1D, and just essentially throws a ping if you move.
And fighting the default setup for St. Clair is a 2-3 push coming out from University of Florida. 3 players spawning on the balcony side and 2 players spawning on, I think that's a club side, would be the
main entrance
side. So the 2-3 split coming out, they looked like they were going to set up to clear the roamers out of bedroom, but they did move to a 4-1 split. And Diffuser does get dropped. Lion has a beautiful sightline onto the CCTV room. Thermite will go down with no congestion because of that sightline. There's going to be a wall breach right away. Strange picks up Miss Nautica, so that's advantage to Florida right off the bat. Lion does use the call, and they do know that somebody is there. The OMAD charge going off. Doozy going down to Strange. That's a double kill from Strange in this round. 3v5 situation for St. Clair to stay in this map. Sergeant taking out Imagine. 2v5 situation. Can St. Clair pull it off? And JB takes out T-Jing, but goes down to Strange for Strange's 3rd kill. Oh, but refrayed by Rapid. Rapid for the win. Takes out 2.
Situation. That Mira is there, so he's doesn't get peeked by the Mira, but gets peeked by the rotate hole. But that Mira there, so it is scary to play in that room because there's so many angles to get peeked from. But essentially not able to get rotated out, he has to play in there. So flawless victory goes to University of Florida on Clubhouse.
That was domination coming out of University of Florida. They look so strong on that map. Now, what are some of the highlights you want to take out of that map? Because that map, it was a little bit one-sided, but like it's kind of takes some speculation on how nice Florida decided that they're going to hold that. I can name their spawn peaks were just essential. They were getting so many good advantages right off the bat, and on top of that, just their team play, like their coordination, just seemed like they weren't breaking communication one bit.
Yeah, and Florida, the spawn peaks, the getting the man advantage, and then also when they realized that St. Clair was adapting to their playstyle, it switched up.
Yeah, they almost immediately would change to. It's like they had a strat book of strats on strats. So it's like, hey, you can adapt to our strat, but we have a strat for that.
There's an app for that.
Yeah, there's an app.
There's a strat.
There's a strat for that.
So adapting to strats is one of the hardest things to do, but Florida showing that they can.
Like Florida looks almost like ready to take this whole league, like with that showing we just saw there. And on top of coming out St. Clair on that one, that was rough for St. Clair to kind of play through that. But what are some kind of things you want to see them work on? This could decide the rest of their run for CEA, but things that they want to maybe work on for CR6.
So essentially just team droning, knowing where everybody is, not essentially at all times, but whenever they can possible, because there's a lot of times that you've seen people were St. Clair was peeking angles that they thought someone was there, and someone was there, but they stopped peeking it because they just assumed that they rotated out or anything like that. And if you had a drone in there or any utility in there, anything like that, it's that much easier to notice who's in there and how it's easier to get them out.
And on top of that, we are gonna throw it to a little bathroom break for all the players to kind of let loose after that stressful game, maybe kind of recollect their minds. So we're just gonna take 5, and we'll catch you guys later.